The fourth match is the Powers of Pain with the Baron versus the Bolsheviks with Slick. The Powers of Pain brought over from the NWA because Vince McMahon couldn't get the Road Warriors, who he really wanted.
Right.
And they were like a sort of clone of the Road Warriors who had a feud. This is the Warlord, who is Dave Bautista's favourite wrestler. Warlord's got a funny thing here, because when they take off the face paint, normally you sort of have a normal look. But he's got two side bits of hair.
Oh, yeah.
One's dyed black and the other is bright ginger.
You kind of have to be symmetrical, don't you?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Absolutely. You don't want anything that makes you stand out, when you've got it off. That's the thing. Otherwise, you're living your gimmick and you've gone mad. Slick looks clean tonight, says superstar Billy Graham. As they, Slick is with the Bolsheviks.
Yes.
I'm not sure why they put their jive talking pimp with the communist thing. It's not really very well worked out. But this match is very much what people must think wrestling is like if they hate it. It's just four big lumps waddling about, just rolling about like big fatty lumps.
I'm this man. I'm this character today.
I'm shouting Russian too.
Slick, I'm wearing a double-breasted jacket.
I'm Monster. I'm Monster Man. Then we get Brother Love, who is always your heart sinks.
I hate you.
Very good. Man.
Brother, well, New York doesn't love you.
Boy, he's disgusting.
Could you imagine this guy walking down 8th Avenue? What would happen to him?
Oh, Brother Love, he slows everything down.
Oh, doesn't he?
He's like rumble strips in a car.
or the band at a festival.
Nobody remembers the rumble strip.
This is Hacksaw Jim Duggan is his guest, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan looks genuinely angry with him quite a lot of the time, which is good. He just comes down for 10 minutes and just threatens him.
Yeah.
So Brother Love will sort of say something along the lines of, when are you going to challenge for a belt? And Hacksaw goes, I'm going to smash your face in. So that's sort of enjoyable. Hacksaw's wearing a great T-shirt, which is of himself, a line drawing of himself with his name on it as well in big things. I think everyone should wear them. And then you'd be like, oh, no, I don't know who this guy is now. All right, Alan. With one of your things, like he's got his 2x4, and so it would be like, oh, I see you like records, Alan. It'd be a really good way. We'd all get to know each other. It'd be really sweet. Duggan walks in a good way. That's about the only thing you can say about him. He struts about.
He's got a good old gait.
But yeah, it's appalling other than that.
Yeah.
You get the fifth match now, Intercontinental Champion Honky Tonk Man versus Mystery Man.
Mystery Man!
Who turns out to be the Ultimate Warrior.
Yes.
There is a huge explosive pop when the Ultimate Warrior comes out.
It is amazing. But you do sort of think he puts on a lot of makeup for 31 seconds. I think I can't wait.
Yeah. No, it really is quick.
Oh, what a waste of time.
What's funny about this is, like, Honky Tonk Man had been the Intercontinental Champion for over a year.
Right.
He'd had it a year, 2 months, and 27 days. Longest reigning Intercontinental Championship of all time. And you can really see that they were like, oh, let's just destroy him. That'll be hilarious. That'll really get Warrior off to a start. Honky Tonk Man was really worried about being injured by Warrior in this because he was just so careless. So normally you're supposed to be on your front and then Warrior does a splash on your back and he would pin you. But Honky Tonk Man was like, I am not just going to turn my head and have him take care of this. So Honky goes on his back and gets splashed on his belly so he can tense and he can see what's going on. Honky was everyone he worked with hurt him. He was always everyone he said, oh, they're really, they're really terrible. They really injured me. So this is quick. Time. But the crowd go absolutely. I mean, Gorilla says one of his classic catchphrases, which is
shit.
The place has gone bananas.
Yeah.
And they really they go absolutely loopy.
This place has gone bananas.
Up the Warrior Lord. Gorilla Monsoon. They're gonna take over, man. That's what you do when you want something. You go out and get it, baby.
You can see people are so excited to see who it's going to be.
Yeah.
And it's Warrior, and it's all like, boom. And this is this generation kicking off.
Right, okay.
So Warrior has never really been in the main event. Suddenly he's the Intercontinental Champion, and that made you the number 2 person in the business. And it was just, it's thrilling to watch this.
And as a character, he looks so different and more exciting than Honky Tonk, because Honky Tonk's, it's a jobber's kind of look, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
and it's a sort of strange thing. He's a sort of Elvis impersonator, and it's just, Elvis is long gone by this point, and it just seems like a weird hangover. What was funny about this is they had a load of television tapings, which they do, so they'd have the weekly shows, and they'd record about sort of 4 to 6 at once, and then they'd go out. So the ones they recorded before SummerSlam, they wanted the Warrior to come out with the belt on. But, of course, if they did that, they'd be giving away that he wins it at SummerSlam. So at each of these tapings, the Warrior had a match with Honky Tonk Man that he won, where he won the belt. Then they'd record the next 4 weeks' worth of things as him as the champion, and at the end, they'd come out and go, oh, there was a problem with the match. He's not the champion after all. He'll have to give give it back to the Honky Tonk Man. And they did this, I think, on 3 occasions. So he actually, by winning this one, he'd actually won it 3 times previously the same week.
Oh, Honky Tonk Man constantly getting beaten by Ultimate Warrior, just reliving the same horrible match over and over again.
Yeah.
The following is a paid announcement.
The Ultimate Warrior has a lot of bad habits, but only ones that help me survive. Don't deprive yourself of the full power. Be a survivor. Don't smoke.
6th match here is The Rock, Don Muraco versus Dino Bravo with Frenchie Martin. The original Rock, Don Muraco.
Yes.
Yeah, huge star in the early 80s.
In a bit of tie-dye, lovely.
Yeah, he had some iconic matches. One of them, Superfly Jimmy Snuka doing the splash off the top of the cage, which Mick Foley was at watching at Madison Square Garden, and that was a real kind of key moment in the birth of hardcore wrestling. People,
oh, really?
People look back on that. He was like, I want to throw myself off the top of the cage. It literally was that. Table. Yeah. Don Muraco's funny. They had a little gimmick where he had no respect for a jobber that he was wrestling, and so during the match he ate a submarine sandwich and drank a Pepsi while he was beating him up, which I think is a really sort of funny little thing. Don Muraco also had a famous sort of story, a bit like Ken Patera's, where he...
fuck you. I don't want to talk about that shit. You want me to choke you out now or later, you cocksucker? I don't talk about that bullshit. We have plenty to talk about. Fuck about, that bullshit about me. It was all set up and everything anyway.
Don Muraco also had a famous sort of story, a bit like where he, Roddy Piper, and Cowboy Bob Orton, who is the father of Randy Orton, they all went out and they just got really, really pissed. They went to an off licence at 3 a.m. They got kicked out because Piper started a fight. They managed to get their car stuck on some train tracks, so it was wedged between them. So Muraco and Piper tried to lift it off, absolutely unable. They see a train coming in the distance and they go, this is going to be fucking brilliant. We're going to see this train smash through the car. They sat there to watch it and the train just went on some other tracks and they were really disappointed. They were really like, oh, that was going to be great. They get back to the hotel. The police are pretty much waiting for them to sort of go, what's going on? And Bob Orton manages to sneak off and go into his room. He's like, nice, I've got away. So the police are with Muraco and Piper trying to figure out what happens. And Bob Orton tries in his room. He's so pleased to have got in. He wants to go to the loo. So he's got undressed and he opens the door to the bathroom and steps in. And it's not the door to the bathroom. It's the front door of his room. And his door shuts behind him and he's just nude. And so no one quite knows why, but he just decides to attack the policeman. They hit him with a taser, nothing happens. They hit him with a second taser, he goes down. So just a sort of typical drinking thing. But that image of him being pleased and then managing to lock himself out of his own room naked, magic times.
And it's not as if you could come out of your room and sort of go, like the police would go, are you with those guys? And you'd be like, no. He'd go, well, you seem to be fucking gigantic.
Yes. This is like only in 86 as well. And there is something funny about that. Again, all of this stuff, if you get tasered by the police, I should think normally you'd get some kind of prison sentence. Because if they've had to tase you, it's because you're being really problematic. Back in 1986, you just go, you're fine. Off you go, you scamps. There's a terrible pilot, which you're going to have to watch at some point, which is called Tag Team.
Okay.
Where they team up. It's a drama, and they team up Roddy Piper and Jesse Ventura.
Oh, nice.
And I believe they're sort of like law enforcement.
Oh, no.
I can't remember. I saw it years and years ago.
What, is it like sketch or... No, it's like a pilot.
Like a drama.
Good God.
You know what
Jesse
people want to see?
Like...
Roddy Piper had a good career as well. I mean, Hell Comes to Frogtown is a good film. The classic They Live by John Carpenter, who's very good in that. He's not the best, really. He's actually quite bad in They Live.
Is Jesse Ventura any good as an actor?
Do you know what? He's actually really quite good. I mean, he's in Predator and stuff like that. He's brilliant in Predator. But you can he just plays Jesse Ventura. When he's dressed up in Predator as a soldier, that seems like second nature to him. And, he's actually good. Why are we talking about 1992's Tag Team? We're here to talk about SummerSlam 88. Don Muraco, again, he looks like Gorilla Monsoon. He looks like one of the Sopranos in this. He's getting a bit fatter and a bit greyer. But I tell you what, the first couple of minutes on this, he's great. It's like he's a young, excited. He was always, I think, the knock on Don Muraco was that he was lazy. That he was a bit of a Hawaiian beach bum. He preferred surfing and things like that. So he didn't really dedicate himself to wrestling. But God, some of the stuff he did in the early 80s is absolutely state of the art. Really, really good. And this is his last little hurrah. And actually, it's not a bad match. A Dino Bravo match that isn't bad. It's incredible.
So rare.
Yeah, and Frenchie Martin has a sign on him that just says USA is not okay. And I think that's quite a mild thing to do.
Yeah, it was very underwhelming. It was very flag, wasn't it?
A fan has a sign that says Pepe Le Pew and power too. No idea what point they are trying to make.
Got your guy like Muraco in a compromising position, you better beat him.
Kill him there and then. Wow, sorry, I shouldn't say that.
Or he'll come.